Howdy ho, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, the markets is kind of like, feels like the everything bubble, right? I mean, the S&P trying to push back up to a new record high. Gold trying to push up. Gold is pushing up, right? But it's really unusual that the S&P and gold are both pushing to new record highs at the same time. That's not normal. That tells us something big's coming, and I don't think that something big is good. Now, the S&P, what are we, 15, 16% up for the year, right? And gold, what was that, approaching 60%? Not a bad year for gold, right? Well, that's what they calling that. They're calling that the debasement trade. The debasement trade. Now, they're including Bitcoin in on the debasement trade with gold. Now, what happens is in a debasement trade, right? Gold keeps going up. Why is gold going up? Gold's staying the same. That ounce is still that same ounce it was a year ago. Just because it's up 60% just means that your dollar has lost that much in purchasing power. And it just keeps going down and down and down and down and down. And I mean, that's pretty much what the debasement trade is all about, right? The debasing your currency. Gold is going to continue to go higher. Now, I would expect a pullback. This has been a hockey stick straight up. And technically, gold is way overbought. But here's the thing. Central banks know what gold is worth. They know that gold is cheap at 4,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. It's still cheap because why? Because we're going to debase the currency. All fiat always goes to zero, right? I mean, there's not one that never has. But Mike, we got the reserve currency. The reserve currency doesn't go to zero. I don't think we have that reserve currency. I think gold is your reserve currency. The world has voted. They don't want those fiat dollars. They want to get into real money. They want to get into the gold. They want to get into the silver. Do they want to get into the Bitcoin? Not so much. What about the fart coin? Do they want the fart coin? Not so much. Ethereum? Not so much. See, those are basically fiat, in my opinion. They're nothing backed by nothing, right? And those eventually will come down to zero. But don't get me wrong, they're going to go higher first, man. We got a big print coming, right? And that big print is what debases the currency. Every dollar they print, your currency purchasing power goes lower and lower. So they're going to debase the currency. But Mike, Bitcoin's not fiat. It's got proof of work. Look, I don't want to make fun of it, but I used to play this game. It was really popular when I was in, a young whippersnapper. It's called Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was one of those video games. You sit there and you push the buttons and you save the princess, and then you got your score and the tokens to go with the score, right? Well, you see, that's pretty much what proof of work is. I was playing Donkey Kong. I proved that I could save the princess. Now, all the computers weren't connected together. Otherwise, maybe I could have sold my points. That's pretty much what we're talking about with this stuff. I mean, it's Fugazi, and don't get me wrong, I love this stuff for trading. It's very volatile, right? Going to go down, going to go up, going to go down, going to go up. It's going to go faster than the S&P, going to go faster than the NASDAQ. You can make a lot of money trading the Fugazi because it's nothing, right? They can move it any direction they want. I mean, look at, I love that rumor that Barron Trump made $190 million. $190 million just shorting Ethereum and just shorting, Bitcoin. In one day, actually in 2 hours, they're the ones saying that it was Barron. Maybe it was. I don't think so, but maybe it was. You don't know. Whoever had access to the Donald's tweets, Barron definitely is a candidate. Anyways, if someone can fleece the market for $190 million, that's what you can do with Fugazi, right? It's nothing. You can just see it go down, see it pump it up. It's Fugazi. You want to get into the real stuff, get into the gold, get into the silver, it all funnels down into that gold, right? But silver is very fascinating right now. Silver is very, very fascinating. Okay, so it's been running up. Well, what are the coin stores doing? They're out of it, right? They're out of it. So what are they saying? A silver eagle is over $60 now. They're putting $8 premiums on because nobody has them. The gold buffalo, that's fascinating. The gold buffalo, I mean, you got to pay $4,500. There's $200, $300 premiums on the gold buffalo. Why? Because nobody has them. Those are printed by the U.S. Mint. The U.S. Mint cannot keep up with the demand. They're debasing the currency too fast because they can't get those printed quick enough for people to get in them. Now, there has been some things that you see. This is why I like the Eagles, right? You can buy junk silver still close to the spot price because it is still out there, right? It's still out there because normally a lot of these companies, they send the junk silver to the refinery to make it 999% pure, but the refineries, they can't take anymore. They're backed up. They're the bottleneck in the system, and that's why silver is going to shoot higher and higher and higher. Now, it's fascinating. In India, the silver ETFs in India, they shut them down. They're not taking any more orders because in India, they actually have their ETFs backed by silver. So they can't get the silver, so they say no more buyers. Now, in the United States, the SLV, buy all you want because we don't need to back it with anything. Once again, you got Fugazi over here. That's the silver ETF. And then you got the physical. That's the stuff that Tall Mike tells you to get. Okay, so today I want to talk about 3 ways to get rich. Now, if you're young, this can be your retirement plan. If you're behind on your retirement, this can help you catch up to everybody, right? Okay, but this is 3 different ways to get wealthy from trading, from investing. We'll go over the first way first. Now, I want you to vote on this in the comments as to which way you think is the best way to get wealthy. Okay, well, let's talk about this. The first way is the Dave Ramsey way, right? Now, Dave Ramsey tells you to take 10% of every paycheck and plow it into the S&P 500, and over time, the S&P 500, according to Dave Ramsey, is guaranteed to go up 8 to 12% a year. Guaranteed. So over time, right? Now, he just tells you just keep putting 10% of your paycheck in there, and you're going to get wealthy over time. That, nothing against that. That's just not what I would recommend. Now, I was listening to this other guy. All right, so his name's Mark Moss. Some of you may know him. He's big on the internet, right? Lost all his money in real estate in 2008, but then he discovered Bitcoin, right? I mean, he discovered Bitcoin. Now, it's funny. He was a Bitcoin maximist until recently. Now he's pushing gold also. He's going, that gold stuff's okay. Really, Mark? Yes, it is. You pretend like you were in it all along. No, you weren't in it when Tall Mike was screaming buy that stuff at 1,700. Now we're at 4,500 just to get 1 ounce. Well, let's go with Mark Moss's plan to get rich, right? So he's saying you have to save up your money and put it all into Bitcoin, right? So until you get 1 Bitcoin. 1 Bitcoin is all you need. That's all you need to retire. You know why? Well, let's just use rough numbers. Let's say Bitcoin's at 100,000. Now, according to Mark Moss, he's telling you that's going to be $1 million within 4 years, right? Within 4 years, that's going to be $1 million. Going 10x from here, right? So your 100,000 is going to be $1 million. And then all you do is you borrow 500,000 on that $1 million worth of Bitcoin, put it into some more Bitcoin, because by 2040, that one Bitcoin by 2040 is going to be worth $14 million. So it's good that you borrow money against your Bitcoin so that you'll have more Bitcoin for when it hits 14 million in 2040. And then you can borrow some more against that 14 million, borrow 7 million, get some more Bitcoin, because by 2050, you know what the price is? It's definitely going to be $40 million. Now, I know Mark Moss is a big follower of the Bitcoin prophet, Michael Saylor, because he's telling you 30 million, but this guy, now Mark Moss, he kind of jumped the shark, right? He's going for 40 million. Saylor, it's only 30 million, right? But this would be one way to get rich, right? You just, you go to work, you make money, you plow it into the Bitcoin. Bitcoin hits $1 million, you borrow against your Bitcoin and you put it in there, and then it's going to hit 14 million and then 40 million. Okay, well, that could work, right? I mean, if those numbers were guaranteed, I don't believe those numbers are going to happen. I do not. I just don't see it that way, right? Now, I see there is some risk, and the risk is 0 on Bitcoin. Bitcoin can go to 0, can definitely go down 80 or 90% in a heartbeat. Can do that in a couple of days, right? I don't think they have any stop trigger on Bitcoin. It can just keep falling. When Michael Saylor's got to liquidate, it's game over, right? And there's a lot of those treasury companies out there, and they're going to be net sellers because that's all they have to sell when they go bankrupt. So all of that Bitcoin going to be funneling onto the marketplace at the same time, which is going to bring that Fugazi down to, well, to its real value, right? Now, okay, now you know Tall Mike, what he's going to say. Everybody knows, right? I mean, Tall Mike, he's a gold guy, right? But no. That's not what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say gold. I'm going to say silver. Silver. I'm just going to use rough numbers, right? Just rough numbers. Silver at $50 an ounce is dirt cheap. It's like buying $10 silver, really. If you were back in the 1980s, it hit $50, but over time, this really should be up closer to 200 just from inflation, right? So you're really buying silver down here at a very, very cheap price. Okay, but here's the thing. I don't want you just to stay in silver. No, I want you, you can start this with zero money. You can go mow your neighbor's lawn. You might have to mow 2 of them now to get a $50 bill. But anyways, you can get $50 and you can go to your coin shop and you can buy one of these silver rounds. Okay, all right, so you got silver, right? Well, we're going to stack it until the ratio between gold to silver becomes 20 to 1. 20 to 1, right? Now, but Mike, we're at 80 to 1. It's never going to become 20 to 1. Look at this, 20 to 1, 1980. 1980 was 21. Silver was $50. Gold was $800. So it's really 16 to 1. I say it was below 20 to 1, and it's been 15 to 1 for most of the time throughout history. Not in modern history. Modern history, the average is up about 30, 35 to 1. But recently, we've been running between 80, 100. I think we reached 120 at one point. But we're about 80 to 1 right now. So when it gets to 20 to 1, I want you to take all your silver, put it in a wagon, walk it down to the coin shop and go, I want to trade this for gold. I want to trade my silver for gold. When it gets to 20 to 1, okay, when it keeps stacking, can't have too much wealth, can you? But when it gets to 20 to 1, I want you to shift it all in and put it into gold. Okay, so now you got it into gold. Now let's just say gold doesn't move anywhere. Let's just say silver goes 20 to 1 right now, right? Okay, so what would that be? I don't even know the number, but okay, so if gold doesn't move, okay, so you would be at $200 silver, right? 200 times 20, yeah, it'd be about 4,000. These are just rough numbers. So anyways, it hits 20 to 1, you're going to 4x your silver value, right? You're going 4 times. And that's what gold not moving. That's all silver has to do is come up to the normal ratio of 20 to 1. Now, why do I say it's going to come up to 20 to 1? Well, actually come down from 80 down to 20, right? Why do I say that's going to happen? Here's the thing. People don't understand this. Silver is found in the top layers of the surface, right, of the earth. Top layers. As you go lower and lower, there's less and less silver. Silver rolls up to the top layers, where gold is equally distributed, right? So we used to mine silver, right? And it used to come out of the ground at about 14 ounces to 1 ounce of gold. Well, as we have to dig deeper and deeper to find more gold, because gold has become so valuable that we'll open up the old mines and start digging them deeper and deeper, we don't pull that much silver out. Silver went from 14 to 1 down to 7 to 1 in nature, right? In nature. Now, in reality, I think we're going to get down to that 20 to 1 ratio, right? And that's where you trade your silver for gold. But here's the thing. Gold is going to go 1 to 1 with the Dow Jones, right? Gold, that's called 4,500. That's called the Dow 45,000, right? So that's going to be a 10x right there. 10x your money right there. I mean, if you bought the stock market right now and you bought an ounce of gold right now, I mean, they're going to shift. They're going to meet somewhere. Now, we're going to talk about where they meet in the next video, not this one, but they're either going to meet down here at 10,000, maybe up here at 100,000, maybe at 500,000. We don't know exactly where. Maybe it comes all the way down and we meet at 6,000. I don't know how it's going to play out. I got a theory and I'll explain that in the next video, but you're going to have to wait for that one. Okay. But anyways, gold is 10 to 1 right now, and they're going to become 1 to 1. So you're going to 10x your money there, but you're going to go 4 times your money against gold. So you're really going to go 40 times your money on one silver ounce. 40x, right? From between putting that into the stock market or putting that into silver, moving the silver into gold, and then gold, when it goes 1 to 1 with the Dow, that's when you start looking for the wealth things. That's when you start looking for real estate to trade your gold into. That's where you may even find some dividend paying stocks. You're going to be so retired, so much ahead of Dave Ramsey, so much ahead of Mark Moss. You just do the tall Mike plan. That's my vote. Now, everybody's got their own take. Now, people, I know I got some Bitcoiners out here. They'll tell you that you got to get into Fugazi because Fugazi can go up quicker than gold. When you got nothing, it can go up quicker. It can go down quicker. I agree with that. It can move more. I don't need that volatility. I'm an old guy. I like to sleep at night. So my money, real money, when I'm stacking silver, silver's the better buy right now. 80-to-1 ratio, gold to silver. When it gets to 20-to-1, you take your silver, you trade it for gold. When gold becomes 1-to-1 with the Dow, you take your gold, you trade it for dividend paying stocks or real estate. Real estate that creates cash flow. You sit back, you've made it at that point. You don't have to do whatever for the rest of your life, and you can go on with your life and do whatever you find fun. Now, here's what's weird. A lot of people think that I just do this. Well, I do this because I'm obsessed with this. This is my fun. Having you here is fun for me. I love this stuff. Anyways, give me the thumbs up. Punch the subscribe button. Get out there, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.